Hi everybody, forgive my appearance. I've been battling in this 400-degree heat and sweltry weather to try to get the motor unlocked in the 63 Rambler that I brilliantly picked up for a project. If you look under the hood here, let me bring you in over here. I've tried everything. I've soaked it. I've got on the crank. I've got on the flywheel. It will not break loose. I've soaked it in everything from vinegar to Marvel Mystery Oil to PB Blaster to Croil. Right now we have made a press out of a 1/2-inch steel plate. Got a piece of wood block on a number 3 cylinder. And we're going to tighten these bolts down and see if the press can push that piston down and bring the other ones up. At least that's the plan. We're either going to unlock it, knock the top out of a piston, or pull the threads out of the aluminum block. But it just sounds right. So here we go. You need to watch this piston right here and see if it moves. Are we ready? Well, if I can get the socket back off, we'll do this. There we go. Oh, this is nice. There we go. The other nice thing about the plate, when you can get the socket off of the plate and drop your impact in the dirt, it makes a wonderful point to strike. So we're gonna get the impact again. Sweat running in my eyes, I can't see. Yeah, let's go with this one. Why not? And I think I'm about to lose the battery in the impact. Wonderful. Well, a smart man would have charged the impact before turning on the camera, but fortunately I never claimed to be one of those. I don't think we're getting anywhere.
It looked like it moved up.
But we're going to give her another whack here.
It looked like it moved some.
And there goes the last socket. Let's see what I got left. I got a wrench. That's something. We'll just tighten with the wrench for now. Isn't this exciting? Oh, something happened. I don't know what, but I heard something. Hey! Hey! Watch the piston.
Okay.
Watch the piston. Come on, baby. It moved. It moved. Come on, baby, get on there. Now we're knocking everything on the ground. It moved. Now it ain't moving, but it jumped. Something's happening. And there goes the hammer. It went again.
I can't see because your arms are...
Well, you're just going to have to take my word for it. I don't know if it broke a rod, but it moved. And moved again. And moved again. You know, this was a lot more fun when I was a lot younger and not this fat. Come on. Come on, we need you to pop again. Pop again. Pop again. Come on. Come on. We're moving. Slow but sure, but we're moving. Hear that clicking? That's those rings cracking free in the cylinder. We are now bottomed out in that cylinder. I do believe. Don't strip the bolt, dummy. Love that sound. By the way, probably should have done this earlier. I'm Preacher Mike. It's my wife Claire behind the camera. She's probably not going to turn it around and say hello. But when I was in high school, I had a 63 Rambler Classic 770. Claire and I drove to Spencer, North Carolina, because I found this thing on Marketplace. And it just happens to be a 63 Rambler Classic 770. Same color as when I was a young lad. And I thought it an expedient idea to buy it. I've had it now about a month. I have tried to get the motor to move for a month. This is the first, so if I get a little excited about this, there's a good reason for it, because it's making popping noises and I'm tickled to death about that. Because after a month, I'll be perfectly honest with you, I was about ready to burn it down. So, here's what I'm going to... There goes... You ever heard the old adage, it's almost enough to make a preacher cuss? Missed it by that much. But praise God, that piston has come up. Now what we're going to do now is we're going to take this off of here. Maybe, if the socket will reach it. Get out on there. Come on. Get off. Get off. Come off. Get off there. Time for a multi-tool. Used for its original purpose, beating. Okay, we'll do it this way. We'll just take nut and all off and then get you out of there. Okay, come on out. Come on. Come on. Come on. Get out. That's close enough. Like I said, we'll take this wrench and break these loose so that I can try the starter real quick and see if the starter will bump it over now that the thing has moved. But boy, it moved hard. Some of you might be saying, why didn't you just pull the motor? Well, for those of you who don't know anything about Ramblers, this has a torque tube that is a solid hollow tube that runs from the tail shaft of the transmission to the differential. It does not have trailing arms. It does not have a track bar. The only thing that holds the rear end in is the torque tube. So with the motor locked up, I couldn't take the motor out because I couldn't get to the converter bolts because the motor wouldn't turn. In order to pull the motor on this with the transmission, of course, I would have had to jack the back of the car up, unbolt the torque tube, unbolt the brakes, the emergency brake, the drive shaft, the torque tube, the coil springs, the shocks, and drag the rear end out the back of the car and stick it in the yard. Then I could pull the transmission with the motor. I chose not to do that simply because I'm lazy. And I don't have a shop yet. I'm currently working in the grass in the backyard of the house. And my wife, I can't tell you how thrilled she is to have this piece of junk sitting in the backyard. So, if I want to stay married, I got to get this thing running. Well, let me rephrase that. If I want to be happily married, I need to get this thing running. And my plate's stuck. There we go. All right. Okay, let's see what happens. Watch the piece of wood. See if it moves. And where's my screwdriver? Where's my screwdriver? Yep, that's what I thought. Gotta go get a screwdriver. To most people, this is known as a flathead screwdriver. El Cheapo Hobo Freight Special. What few people know, it is also a 1963 Rambler Classic 770 ignition switch. I do have the keys for this, but it don't work. So here we go. Oh, that sounded wonderful. The pistons are now bumping. There, watch this one. You can see it jump around a little bit if you get close. Of course, this starter is about ready to give up the ghost. So what we're going to do, as Derek would say, at Vice Grip, we're going to take a Tanya Harding and we're just going to give a little, as Hank Williams would say, a little adjustment on the top of the head. Yep, worked out well. Yeah, it's going, that one's a little deeper. Let's just. And there goes the wood block into pieces. So let's hit it again. It wants to real bad. See that piston moving? See it move? Now it stopped moving. So with a little Tanya Harding again, we're going to give it a little help. Oh, that one sounded good. And watch the piston. We're getting close, folks. Where's my, there it is. Getting close. Wrong end. Well, that didn't work. All right. We don't blow the teeth out of the flywheel. All right, here's what we're going to do. We're going to soak the cylinders down again. Since they've moved, and I can clearly see that this piston here has moved down because I can see the ridge in the piston. So here's what we're going to do. As soon as I figure out where it's at. Okay. Maybe we're not going to put PB Blaster in it. Unless I do it in here. And I did not, like I said, we're going to fill this up with some vinegar. Because it's all I have. It's not the best for the cylinders that there is, but once I get the pistons up and down, I can get a hone in there and clean them up a little bit, or some emery cloth. But they moved. Now, in addition to the vinegar, just checking. Looks like water. Where's it at? I think I got a little bit of ATF left. It will mix in with the vinegar. I don't know what kind of chemical reaction that is going to make, but we're going to go with it. And we're going to let that cook for another couple days. Tomorrow's Sunday, so I won't work on it tomorrow. I got church tomorrow. And we don't work on cars on Sunday. Don't get me wrong, if your ox is in the ditch, but technically I put my own ox in my own ditch by buying this car in the first place, so I can't justify. It's not an emergency, but it moved. That's more than I've had in a month. Come Monday evening, I'll get home. I got to mow Monday evening. Tuesday evening when I get home, I'll move the plate to another set of cylinders and start the process all over again until we get them broke loose. And then once we can make a complete revolution with it, I'll fire the starter up and let the rings do their thing to the cylinders with some lubrication. And then we'll start the process putting everything back together and hopefully get it running where I can move it around a little bit. Give you a walk around a little bit of the old girl. She's straight. The door shuts most of the time. All the doors open freely, as you can see. The inside has been lived in by currently some spiders and excess parts. The doors work really good. Got the anti-theft trunk lock. Trunk key. Mouse house. Original spare. Original jack is in here. Mouse condo over here, a duplex there. The head's in good shape. It weighs, I don't know, 3.5 tons. I strained my eyelashes even pulling that thing out of there. This is, incidentally, what a head gasket is not supposed to look like, because your old fat have a bad back and struggle to pull a 400-pound cylinder head out of an engine compartment. This is what you do to the head gasket. So any young people watching this, don't try this at home. I'm a professional. All right, but it's straight back here. Bumper's good. Gas cap smells like Thompson water stain if you open it. The back door opens, and the air cleaner falls out when you do that. That goes back there. That compressor, by the way, is not for this car. It's for my truck. This car doesn't have air conditioning. Now, if you get into the driver's side, one is the seat, you go clear to the floor. It has the soft Corinthian leather door panels. A lot of people think that's rust. That's actually an Appaloosa dash cover. Real horsehide, in case you didn't know that. This is the only part of the dash that is intact. The rest of it, the glove box is kind of stuck in that position. The console opened with a screwdriver. The gas pedal linkage is broken. The gentleman I got it from said that the 57,179 miles on the odometer right here are actual miles. Now, this car got parked in 1991. Now, I looked, and the numbers on the old cars, most of the time, if it's rolled over, the numbers are staggered because it breaks the little tabs between the numbers. These numbers are perfectly in line. So I'm going to take a wild shot from the looks of things, although the brake pedal's telling me another story. It looks to be actual mileage, but my guess would be, from the looks of the brake pedal, probably 157,000, or the speedometer doesn't work at all and it quit at 57,000 miles in 1965, at which case I don't know how many miles it has. It has dual ashtrays, which is where I found the keys that they told me I didn't have. I sucked them up in the shop vac. AM radio, don't know if it works, key doesn't turn on. It's got fancy bucket seats that you can't see it from this side. That one over there has a little jack handle that'll raise you up in the air and tilt you back. This one has just forward and backwards. There's no jack handle. So apparently they like the passengers to be comfortable and the drivers to stay awake. Manual steering, manual brakes, they don't work. They're a little floppy. I have not had the intestinal fortitude to try the emergency brake because I'm afraid I will not get it back off. Surprisingly, the headliner, although stained, here I'll borrow this, the headliner is, well, kind of a close-up picture, but the headliner is completely intact. A couple stains, sun visors are stuck, but there. Floor pans are pretty good except for that gaping hole right there to let fresh air in the car. By the way, that's my wife. Hi, say hi, Clara. Okay, I knew I'd get you in there. But that's the car. That's what I bought. And I'm excited that the piston broke loose. It's got a long ways to go. But if it breaks loose, it'll run. It's that simple. Of course, all of the stuff I've dumped in the cylinders is running profusely out of the rear main seal. So once I get it running, I've got to take the motor out and reseal everything, take a look at the bearings and the caps, and the rings hopefully will come back around. If not, this motor can be pulled by one guy in a seatbelt. I mean, it's aluminum. It's aluminum block and a cast iron head. Who'd have thunk it? But this is my first time doing this thing with the cell phone thing. So, hope we didn't bore you to tears. That's about all we're going to get done tonight, except cleaning up the mess and taking a shower. Thanks for watching with us. Don't know who's going to see it, if anybody, but there you go. 63 Rambler Classic, 770. Motor moved. Bye-bye.